Hey guys, MJ here. Today, I was doing a somewhat quick video about a longboard I built. Um, I built this for about $4, not counting the power tools. Or not counting the tools at all, I guess. But yeah, I just used 1/8 inch plywood I got from the hardware store. I think this is birch ply. And wood glue, and then jigsaw. This is a mouse sander I'm using there, just to smooth out the edges. You don't need a mouse sander. You can do it with a sanding block if you want. You don't even need to sand anything down, but I just thought it looked better like this, just to give it kind of rounded edges. I did this just kind of as a learning experience for myself. I made a longboard in the past, which was much smaller than this, which worked really well. That one I laser cut, but I wanted to try doing it with the jigsaw, and it turned out much better than I expected. It was actually quite simple to make. So yeah, I'm cutting out another one of these. I used the first one kind of as a template, traced it out onto this one. If you're doing this, you're going to need sawhorses to gut it out on, or else it's going to be a real pain in the butt to cut everything out. Alright, so after sanding up that other deck, or half of the deck, I put some glue in there, pressed it together, and clamped it. A mistake I made during this build is I did not have enough clamps. I did not use enough clamps. I started here with 2, and I ended up buying some more from the hardware store while it was still drying. Kind of hard to see. I also put a vice grip in there. Whenever you're gluing with wood, you need a ton of clamps, really as many as possible. If you can have 100 clamps, that's perfect. If you can have 20 clamps, that's great. Like, you really want, for every, I'd say for most projects, for every 6 inches to a foot, you should have a clamp. That's ideal, but it doesn't always work that way. Here I was trying to do something with kind of this logo thing with my soldering iron to wood burn it. Didn't end up working out, so I just used a Sharpie. And I don't know, I wasn't very happy with the design in the end, so I kind of screwed some things up. But you know, whatever. And then here, this is after I took it outside and did the first stain. It was looking pretty good. And here is where I'm drilling the holes to attach the trucks and wheels. I didn't line up one of the wheels properly, so it was slightly off, which was annoying. And yeah, take your time to make sure all your holes are in the right spot. And here's the first test stepping on it, and it was very bendy, and I want it to be slightly bendy. Longboard decks should always be a bit bendy. It just makes it easier to push. And there's some suspension stuff. I don't know a whole lot about longboards. I just know it should be slightly bendy, but it was way too bendy. So here the next day, I took the wheels and trucks off, and here I'm about to apply another piece of scrap from the board. There it is. And I'm just cutting that down to the width of the base of the trucks, and then I'll put it on there. By the way, the board is 36 inches long, and just about a foot wide. And there I'm finishing it with the sander, and I also clamped it to the side here, and also finishing a bit with the hand plane, just to make it real flat. I don't have a whole lot of experience with the hand plane though, so it was slightly uneven, but I was surprised how well it worked. Hand planes are very satisfying to use also. There, now I'm applying it. By the way, when you're attaching something with wood glue, make sure you apply wood glue to all the surfaces that will be put together to ensure the best bond. Make sure the glue is spread a lot. So here I'm re-drilling the holes. There we go, because I have to drill through the new layer. And then after this, I'll just put the trucks and wheels back in. This build actually didn't take too long, which was kind of surprising. It was probably a weekend. Yeah, just about a weekend, actually. The thing is, if you don't count the stain drying or the... Well, that's not a stain, actually. That's polyurethane I put on. I'm sorry about that. But if you don't count the polyurethane drying or the wood glue drying, you could do this whole build in 2 or 3 hours, probably. If you want it to really, really look good, you'll need a day. But I spaced this build out throughout the day, and most of the time was spent drying. Here, this is something you probably shouldn't do unless you like the look of it, but I was using the hand plane to kind of bring out the grain in the wood. It makes kind of this like almost like a leather pattern. Well, not leather, I guess it would be more cow skin pattern. I know leather is cow skin, but it kind of looks like the pattern on a cow. I don't know, it's kind of funky. I liked it. I did it to one side. Looked interesting. And then here I'm just finishing up the stain, or polyurethane. And then, yeah, now I'm writing it. So, worked out really well. Cried's great. And, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one.